I thank my Rules Committee colleague for yielding, and I rise today in support of this rule and the underlying legislation. This is a monumental vote. For the first time since Republicans took control of this House in 2011, we are in a position to send a bill to the President's desk that would dismantle Obamacare and eliminate federal funding for Planned Parenthood, who we know sold body parts from aborted babies. This piece of legislation is about listening to the American people and working to advance their concerns right here in the People's House. Obamacare is fundamentally broken. It's not making health care more affordable. In fact, it's doing just the opposite. As the New York Times pointed out just the other day, many Americans find it cheaper to pay the tax penalty and remain uninsured instead of signing up for a health care plan they simply cannot afford. That is exactly the opposite of how this law was supposed to work. My colleagues on the other side say that Republicans want to take away people's health care. Let me tell you what took away people's health care. This law did. I hear every time I go to the grocery store or hold a town hall meeting from people who had a health care plan that they liked, a plan they could afford, a plan that worked for them. Now, the President said over and over again, if you like your health care plan, you can keep it. That was not true. And so the people of the United States suffer today because they lost their health care plans, or they simply can't afford the cost and the new health care plan that's been forced on them. So if you want to talk about taking away people's health care from someone, that's what this law did. That's what the President of the United States did and what he continues to do with this law. We need to move past this government-mandated health care plan and instead empower the American people and their doctors. The people don't want the federal government to tell them what type of health insurance they need or what doctors they should see. That's simply not the role of the federal government. We should get rid of this awful law and instead move forward with health care reform that puts the interests of the patient first, not the interest of the federal government. So let's pass this bill and send it to the President's desk, and then he gets to make a choice. He can stand with the American people, or he can stand against the American people. If he chooses to veto this bill, then the American people will have seen a clear choice between two different Americas, an America where the government knows best, or an America where the people, the hardworking people who have made our country great, where the people are empowered. Let's make the President decide. Let's hold him accountable. Let's do the work of our constituents, and let's pass this bill on behalf of every American who lost their health care plan or saw their health care costs increase. Let's do this for them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back.
The gentleman yields back his time.